Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to finance your investment deals. It's going to take longer than a minute, so go ahead and switch over to my YouTube channel where you'll get the full information. Follow me. Welcome back to my investment series. Today we're going to talk about how to finance the deal. Once you found the place, we got to find the money to make it happen. So the first thing you want to do is figure out, can I make a cash purchase? This may be dipping into your 401k and buying it as a trust. This could be borrowing it from your uncle or from a friend and going 50-50. But if you can buy it cash, you save yourself a whole lot of headache. You skip appraisals, you skip a third party telling you whether or not you should buy it or not. You can buy it with violations, code violations, or with liens. So there's a lot of advantages to coming in cash. Obviously, that's not going to be everybody, but if you can scrounge it together, put together a group of people, that's the cheapest and easiest way to buy a property. Next thing we're going to talk about is seller financing. This is kind of cool because you're asking the person who's selling the property to also finance your deal. And that means you can sometimes shave a little bit off the top of the price because they're going to make up that difference in the financing over the long term, 5 or 10 years, whatever you can negotiate with them. The other cool thing is, particularly for sellers that own the property outright, when they get paid, what are they going to do with that money? If they're just going to plunge it into the stock market, which has a lot of volatility lately, financing you might actually be the better deal for them. So don't be afraid to ask about seller financing. We're going to talk about the most commonly known way to finance a deal, and that is an FHA 203. Typically, with an FHA 203K, you'll pay a certain amount for the property, and then you'll also get money lent to you to do the rehab. So the upside is you're actually accessing more money because what they'll do is they'll value the property after it's repaired. But the downside is you're going to get a ton of extra scrutiny because it's a government-backed program. So one of the things you want to be careful with is that the property doesn't have violations or liens, because those are red flags to underwriting and the deal is just going to fall apart. But if it's simply just an old house that needs to be repaired, or an old apartment, townhouse, whatever it might be, FHA 203K is a great way to go. The fees are slightly higher as well than a traditional loan, but again, you're getting extra money that you normally wouldn't qualify because based on the future value of the property. If the property does have violations and liens, then you're really only allowed, or your only other alternative is to do what's called hard money loans. And that means somebody else is taking their cold hard cash and handing it to you in the hopes that you will rehab this property, fix it up, and then you'll pay them back on a short term, typically anywhere between 1 and 3 years. The interest rates are really high. We're talking over 10%, sometimes as high as over 15%. And so you really don't want to hold on to that mortgage any longer than you need to. So it's also good to get that hard money lender out as soon as you can. Once you fix up the property, you want to refinance that loan. The last thing we're going to talk about, it's a super rare way to finance a deal, but that is assuming a loan. Typically, assumable loans only exist for FHA loans and Department of Agriculture backed loans. So they're not going to be very common. But if you happen to come across a piece of property that is backed by one of those loans, especially with interest rates that have gone up over the last 2 years, wouldn't it be nice to get a 4% loan in today's market? Who wouldn't want that, right? So assuming a loan means you have to take all their terms and conditions, and if the property has gained equity over time, you're gonna probably have to pay them. So let's just say they bought the house 5 years ago for 200 grand, it's now worth 350. Interest rates are at 6%, but they paid only 2.8%, 3% on their loan. I mean, come on, you're getting interest for half the price. Again, it is rare, but if it's there, take advantage of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all my channels so that you can find more valuable information like this. Thanks.